Formula 604X, anti-radiation. Third and final part. As expected, the fourth dimensional spaceship Danason took about 6 months to reach planet Ergon. However, about a week before landing, Capitaloro convened his full team of counselors in his headquarters. The two friends and scientists, Professor Fraser and Dr. Nash, were also part of the team. Now, the reason for this was together to work out the best strategy for the distribution of the anti-radiation tablets to the people of planet Ergon. After much discussions, Councillor Russ came up with the best ideas. So Capitaloro thanked and dismissed the other 9 councillors, so he could continue his work on the strategy with the two friends, Professor Fraser and Dr. Nash, and of course, Councillor Russ. Now, work on the strategy was almost completed when then the main computer alerted Capitaloro that his president, the president of planet Ergon, was on screen waiting to speak to him about a matter of absolute urgency. A few minutes later, from the screen, the president said, "Captain, the situation here had changed dramatically. Planet Stark, who were about to wage war against us, are now in serious, deep trouble." "Okay, Mr. President," said Capitaloro, "that sounds like good news to me." "Point taken," replied sternly the President. "However, here are your new revised orders. You will not, and I repeat, will not, land here on planet Ergon as originally planned. We do not need your anti-radiation tablets anymore. Instead, you will be landing on planet Stark. It's them now who are in desperate need of your anti-radiation tablets." "May I ask you why, Mr. President?" said Capitaloro. From the screen, the President said, "The thermonuclear bomb that they were about to unleash on us, it suddenly developed a fault and began leaking radiation in all directions on the planet. So, Captain, your orders are to distribute the anti-radiation tablets that you held in your vessel to the people of planet Stark." "Forgive me, Mr. President," said the Capitaloro, "but I am struggling to comprehend why should we cure the hand that was prepared to destroy our people, our planet." "Valid point, Captain," said the President. "However, this is not an order. I am asking you, in fact, I am begging you to at least try. Try to understand. Because you see, Captain, this is probably the only chance we have to show, to prove to them that we are different than they are, and that to us life, and I mean all human life, that's regardless of which planet it comes from, it is equally important." "Okay, Mr. President," conceded Capitaloro, "I now do understand." "Good. Glad to hear that. So best of luck to you all, Captain," said the President, as he disappeared from the screen. Soon enough, Capitaloro realized that plans made for the distribution of the anti-radiation tablets to the people of planet Ergon could, with a few alterations, be also used for planet Stark. "Captain," interrupted Professor Fraser, Did your president give you any information regarding the bomb's radiation leak? No, replied Captain Laurel. But what do you ask? Because, said Professor Fraser, I think I have some ideas on why the bomb is leaking radiation. Of course, we shall need the blueprint of the bomb, intervened Dr. Nash. From it, he said, we could work out the materials deployed and, of course, the quantities used. A totally convinced Captain Laurel rushed to Zen, the mine computer, in order to be able to speak to the president of Planet Stark. Due to the massive chaos caused by the radiation on Planet Stark, the president of Planet Stark decided to send the blueprint of the bomb immediately, without hesitations. So at once, the two friends and scientists, Professor Fraser and Dr. Nash, started to work on the blueprint of the bomb. At first, everything seemed in order. However, after hours and hours of painstaking work, it was Dr. Nash who first pinpointed the error. They quickly called over Captain Laurel and made him aware of the situation. Captain Laurel congratulated the two friends for the fantastic work. When they eventually landed on Planet Stark, amid the massive chaos caused by the radiation, they also noticed some degree of organization. They saw thousands of small flying and floating machines. They were perfectly lined up and ready for the distribution of the anti-radiation tablets. So Chancellor Russ, with the help of tens of thousands of men and women, started the mammoth task of the distribution of the tablets. Meanwhile, Colonel Tosick, whom, by the way, Colonel Tosick was in charge when the bomb was originally constructed. So Colonel Tosick, along with Captain Laurel and the two friends, Professor Fraser and Dr. Nash, they put on their special anti-radiation suits. And then they flew at great speed to the location where the malfunctioning bomb was situated. When they eventually entered the domed site and saw the mountainous thermonuclear bomb sitting on the middle of it, they were all shocked, all except, of course, Colonel Tosick, whom, as we know, was in charge of the project. In a relatively short time, Colonel Tosick, with the help of the two friends and the Captain Laurel, managed to strip the bomb down to the core. It was only then that the two friends had the opportunity to show Colonel Tosick where the original error has been made. And they showed him that the neodymium used to protect the plutonium at the core of the bomb was not sufficient. It only covered about 3/4, leaving the rest free to leak radiation. At once, the two friends worked the precise amount of the neodymium needed for the bomb to be stable. Not only that, they also worked out a system in which the bomb was converted to generate electricity. Sometime later, at the historical ceremony on Planet Stark, the presidents of the two planets shook hands in front of an enormous clapping and cheering crowd. The first one to speak was the president of Planet Ergon by saying that after tragic mistake, the two planets were now sister planets and that their destinies were intertwined. Then the president of Planet Stark said, "My dear friends, lately we were on the verge to commit an abominable act against the people of our now sister planet Ergon. For sure, it was a miracle that at the last minute something went wrong with the bomb we were about to unleash on them. But then the monstrous device turned on us by leaking radiation in all directions on our planet. Left unchecked, eventually the radiation would have engulfed the whole planet. Then, when everything seemed lost, God took a pity on us by sending two brave and courageous men from a faraway planet called Earth. Their names are Professor Fraser and Dr. Nash. To make sure that these two names will stay in our consciousness for generations to come, I now ask them to step forward." As they did so, a massive blue curtain dropped to the ground, revealing a monument of Professor Fraser and Dr. Nash about 3 times life-size. Finally, the two presidents agreed to escort the two heroes, along with Capital Auror and Councillor Ras, to escort them back to their families. And of course, their planet Earth.